All right, here we are. We're here. Thank you to those of you who are here. Thank you so much for coming. We have, let's see who's here really quick. We have Alice. Alice, thank you for staying up. I know it's late for you. Jinx, hello. And Kit, I'm so happy to see that your issues have apparently cleared up. So that's great news. And not my Juna. Thank you for coming. And here. Okay, so tonight, as mentioned, I hope in the description for the show, we're going to start a 3-part series for Accuser Terri Morris. And the reason that it has to be 3 parts is that it took until the 3rd interview with Rocky Gregory for them to, for Rocky to end up getting her to change her story about what date her alleged assault occurred on and where it occurred. And so there's 3 interviews that we have recordings of. And so, just so that we can see how much I know what the word is, and I just can't think of it. Hi, Dark Side. What is the word I'm looking for? How much, not coaching or coercing, but choreographing, I guess, in a sense, was done with some of these accusers. This was definitely the beginning with Terri Morris. So I have a few videos for you, and I think the videos, my voice is low and shaky.
It is.
I don't know what, I've been having trouble with my computer for the last couple of days. I'm going to switch over to Ethernet here. So, hopefully that sounds better. Is that sounding any better at all? I hope so. No, it doesn't sound better. Okay.
Carry on. It was doing the little speed up hyper talk thing.
I think it is a little better.
Anyway, so I have a couple of videos. You guys know me. I love creating these videos, and I'm not necessarily good at it, but I have fun doing it. It's challenging, and it's interesting, and it's creative. So I have a few videos, and they're going to kind of do most of the talking, but we are going to go over some points of this. Oh my goodness, my thinking is not clear. Different changes, changes that will occur in the stories, from one person to the next and then we'll figure out I know what's wrong. It's my volume. I just realized it's not up like it's supposed to be. Let me fix it. That should be a little bit better. Anyway, so that's how we're going to do this tonight. And then, of course, any questions that we get from you guys in the chat are, those are bonus. We love that. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to get started tonight with the 911 call that we've all heard a gazillion times, but I tried to dress it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. And okay, hopefully you guys can see that on the screen. And here we go.
After Daniel Holtzclaw was relieved of duty and sent home to await his fate, Detective Rocky Gregory began to fill in Detective Davis on the Terri Morris allegations. You'll recall Detective Gregory questioned Holtzclaw about the contact he may have had with Morris and how she was, in Detective Gregory's opinion, making the same allegations as Liggins. The case into Terri Morris's allegations began in an early morning 911 call on May 24, 2014. The call was placed by 61-year-old Oklahoma City resident Christopher Shelton, a recent and former boyfriend of 43-year-old accuser Accuser Terri.
Oklahoma City 911, what's your emergency? Hello?
Hello? They talking about serving old beds and goddamn.
Hello?
I feel like a motherfucker and rip my heart out and try to put it back inside. I feel like
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Where are you?
I'm on 23rd and Kelly.
Okay, you're at a house or are you at the intersection?
I'm at the Valero on 23rd and Kelly.
What's going on there, sir?
I see a friend of mine. She was walking down Kelly's side, falling in the street, so I gave her a ride. I was going to take her home to a grandmama's house, but she wouldn't get out. So she told me to take her on 23rd. And I've been trying to get her out for the last 30 minutes, and now she's saying,
Okay, are you in the Valero?
pardon?
You at the Valero? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
What kind of car are you in, sir?
I'm in a 1992 Acura Legend.
What color?
It is tan. She's turning the inside of my car up. She's drunk.
What's your name, sir?
My name's Christopher Shelton.
Christopher Shelton.
Yeah, she's got yanking stuff out of my car.
What's her name, sir?
Her name's Terri Morris.
She white, black, Hispanic, or Indian?
She black.
How old is she?
She tearing my car up.
I understand.
She's 43.
Okay, she's still in the car?
Well, she finally got out, man. She's throwing stuff at me.
Police.
I told you I was there. Why get up? She's hitting on me and everything.
She drunk or on drugs?
Oh, my purse.
Christopher, is she drunk or on drugs?
There's something wrong with her. I just want somebody to come get her. I don't hit women or anything.
That's
What color shirt and pants you wearing?
She got a black dress on.
Look like she needs
I was trying to help her with that. Yeah, she's throwing my darn CDs out.
Yes, sir. Look like she, or does she have any weapons?
No, she just throwing my darn car up.
The officer's already driving to you.
Yeah.
Look like she need an ambulance.
She just tore my stereo apart.
Are you trying to help me?
They're on their way here, Terri.
Yeah, already.
You done tore up my darn.
So you done call the people, the same motherfuckers that raped me. I don't know. The police.
Could you hurry up here, sir?
Sir, I'm not driving. The officer's
When
driving.
they
Okay?
do call, because let me describe the police to rape me the other night.
Yeah, you should see them very close, very close.
She just tore my radio out.
Because, because my friend,
Let me know when you see the officer.
Oh, yeah, she's trying. I'm shutting the door. She's up here tearing my stuff up. I mean,
Do you see the officer?
here he is. Do I need to stay on the phone?
Did the officer find you?
Yeah, here they are.
All right, talk to them, okay?
Yes. All right, thank you.
That 911 call is exclusive to this podcast. I obtained it through a Freedom of Information request. Amazing.
Okay, that is something that we can play another time. I just went ahead and recorded it because it will definitely come in handy somewhere, I'm sure. So now that you've listened to that one, I would like to share something else. Can you guys hear me a little bit better now?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, now I want you to pay close attention to this. This is an interview with Christopher Shelton, the former boyfriend, who called 911 that we just listened to. And I want you to see right from the very first sentence he starts speaking, if you notice any changes in what he says happens. Sorry, I gotta get the right one. Yes, it's very interesting. Oh, I forgot the volume thing there. Okay. Okay, here we go.
She didn't want to call it because she was fear of retaliation.
Listening more about the police officer accused of sexually assaulting 7 women. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Morgan Chesky. Tonight, Daniel Holtzclaw is in Oklahoma County Jail, and investigators say from February to June, the officer preyed on women he pulled over. KOCO's Dave Detling live tonight on the Northeast side with the story of one of those encounters. Dave.
Hey, good evening, Morgan. Well, behind me, the gas station where police interviewed one of the women involved in this assault investigation. Tonight, we are hearing from that victim's friend who dialed 911.
I told them that I had a victim up here of rape.
Christopher Shelton remembers the night he called 911 after seeing his female friend walking near Northeast 23rd Street in Kelly. He says
Busted out crying.
She says it was about an incident with an officer, later identified as Daniel Holtzclaw.
He said, "Oh, no, they're not going to do anything." I said, "You must try."
Shelton's friend is one of 7 victims who've come forward in the case against this Oklahoma City police officer. Officer Holtzclaw was arrested Thursday, accused of sexually assaulting women while on duty patrolling the Spring Lake area of the metro. One of the women involved accuses Holtzclaw of taking her here to a Northeast Side school in his patrol car and then raping her. Shelton says the allegations are a wake-up call for the Northeast Side. He says he'll be watching the investigation closely while praying for the victims.
They're human. So even though they're an authoritative figure, you're going to have to expect that there are some bad ones. You know, not all of us are perfect.
And tonight, Holtzclaw remains locked up in the county jail on a $5 million bond. And the chief of police for Oklahoma City PD saying they are working very hard to restore the public's trust. We're on the Northeast side. Dave Detling, KOCO 5 News.
Dave, thanks. And authorities tell us Holtzclaw had other complaints in the past. Clifton Armstrong died in May last year after a struggle with police. Holtzclaw and 3 other officers were cleared by the department of any wrongdoing there. And there was also an internal complaint for a pursuit violation and a complaint for false arrest. Neither brought any punishment against Holtzclaw.
Hey, very big question there. Did you notice any changes, any differences? I noticed Jinx right off the bat said that's not what I remember happening with him. Yeah, he didn't at all say anything like that we heard in that 911 call. And as you guys know, I just played it for you. We started that 911 call from the very second that it occurred. So we listened to it right from the beginning all the way through to the end, and not one time did he say anything like what he said in his news interview. So I just thought it was a little, I don't know, you know. We could sit and debate all those things all day long, but definitely just a completely different story when he told it to the news. Now I have ideas, and I'm sure all of you do as well. My own personal opinion of how that went down the way it did. I don't believe that. I'm not saying that Terri Morris was never assaulted. She may very well have been, and I think it's possible she was on the 20th or the 21st. But obviously, it wasn't Daniel. And I think that the reason she's so upset is not because she was raped by an officer on the 20th or the 21st, but in that, and I think I took it down, unfortunately. In that call, actually, let me just find that one spot. I should have paid attention to it, and so I could show it to you guys again. But in the 911 call, he says, we just hear her mumbling about a bunch of stuff and everything else, and everything but the word rape gets said. Now here, let me just share this again, and I won't play it, but I will show it to you. I believe wholeheartedly that Terri Morris was angry and upset and heartbroken and hurt by Christopher Shelton, because Christopher Shelton had been her boyfriend for some amount of time. And so when, let's see if that's showing on there. Okay, it is. So when he says, I seen a friend, she was walking down Kelly, and then Terri Morris gets like really indignant and upset, and she just says, I ain't your friend, I was your girlfriend. And, she's just like really insulted that he called her friend. Now, we're going to talk in a little bit in the police report about why we believe that is uh, a thing to care about or to look at or whatever. But let me just see if I can find it in the exact spot here in the video. I apologize. I hadn't planned on going this route, but he's talking about getting her out of the car and she won't get out. And I can find the right spot. Tearing my car up. He is really upset about this car. At this point, I missed one. Right here, she's 40, says she's 43, and then Terri Morris says, "You hurt me." And I would just venture to guess that she's talking about him breaking her heart because at this point in time, Christopher Shelton has another girlfriend. So she says, "You hurt me." And she's just really, really upset and heartbroken. And then there's something wrong with her. I know you guys know, Kay and Cherie, exactly what I'm trying to find. Anyway, I'm not going to waste a lot of time on it, but she's talking about him having ripped her heart out, and you broke my heart, you ripped my heart out. I don't remember the exact words, but anyway, it just seems very evident to me that she is really angry and hurt and upset with Christopher Shelton when that call, at the time that call gets made, because of him hurting her, him breaking her heart. So when he starts talking about, there's something wrong with her. Yeah, you need to come get her. Somebody's got to come and get her. She's tearing my car up. She was like, oh shit. And even though she's not necessarily thinking straight, she's got to be thinking, I need to figure out something to say about why I'm acting so crazy, besides the fact that she's eventually going to admit that she's on drugs and all those things. But she just makes up this lie and says that she was just raped by a cop. And I don't think that any of that was, it could have been true that she got raped. Like I said, I'm not saying that's not true, but it wasn't by Daniel. It wasn't on that night. I believe wholeheartedly that Terri Morris had that little bitch fit that she had because she was so hurt and brokenhearted by Christopher Morris. And then it just evolved into this other whole thing that really happened for Dan. So, does that sound like any kind of close, maybe, that anybody else is thinking, Kay or Cherie? Or do you have a different opinion of why she might have said it?
I just thought she was trying to get out of trouble at that point, but what she said was revealing as far as, letting us know that the whole conflict had happened because, everyone's probably been in a situation where, oh, well, maybe not. Most people have been in a breakup situation where, you're talking, you're having that, what might be the final conversation, if you can think back to that. And
Yeah.
she didn't want to get out of his car because she didn't want to leave him. She was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
She knew he had another girlfriend, and she knew he was probably going there.
Right.
And I just feel like, I feel like she was just at that point trying to get out of trouble, because she doesn't say anything about rape until she realizes that he is indeed calling the police like he had threatened to do. So
Right. And he told her that. I told you I was going to call him, Terry Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking here. I see the question. I missed it, but Cherie says that T1 asked, was this other woman on the scene when, what other woman? Or I'm not sure what other woman he's talking about. There's no other women in this part. Jeek says, yeah, I agree too. I agree that she was trying to get out of trouble or stay out of trouble or something for sure. But I really think that her major come apart started Shelton in the car before they even got to the Valero, asked because she was so angry with him for having this other girlfriend.
Oh,
but then it led to
the other girlfriend was not there. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, the other girlfriend.
Was the other
sorry.
No. Yeah. She was not there.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, she was not there at that time. But yeah, just we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. Well, in a little bit before we end the thing. So, but yeah, I agree. I agreed with both you and Jinx that she probably was trying. I think most of these women were trying to get out of trouble to some degree or another, and we'll learn about what Terri Morris wants. I believe it's going to be in part 3 of this series. We'll learn part of what she is. We'll learn about that eventually. So that I just feel like she was just heartbroken, and it led to this whole other craziness of stuff that just really wrecked Daniel's life ultimately. Now, also there's also a point where Kim Davis claims she didn't ever know anything about Terri Morris's case when they were interviewing Holtzclaw. I think that's a lie. I'm not saying I think she knew all about it, but I just can't imagine that she didn't know about just this random sex case that he was investigating. And she, whether, I don't think that they put it on Daniel when it first happened. It didn't take long though, for them to get to that point.
Well, they did investigate Daniel and who was the other officer?
Jeff Sellers.
Yeah, that pulled her over in April, I think like April 11th. And then Holtzclaw pulled her over or stopped her on May 8th. So
Right.
they did, when she made those allegations, they did investigate what police officer had contact with her, but her story didn't match up whatsoever to either person. So if indeed a police officer assaulted her on the 20th or 21st, like Rhonda said, they didn't call in their location. They did it like a normal rapist would. They didn't call in their location and, put a neon sign out when they were getting ready to rape someone.
Right. Yeah. So, and then there's also, now this wasn't part of, this is something just to throw out there for people to think about, but there was also Alexander, or maybe his last name was I shouldn't say because now I can't remember both names, but there was an officer, the one who ended up being fired for being sexually active with prostitutes, I guess it was. Anyway, he was fired, but then he got his job back through arbitration. Now he's also somebody that should have been, I think, looked at. And from everything we've read so far and that I've read, I haven't seen anywhere where he was looked at or investigated at all in any of these cases. So, well, any of these cases, I say that like they were real cases. But anyway, so
But,
we
you know,
know that.
Go ahead.
What's
Go
that?
ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Go
ahead. I was just going to say, so they did investigate that, and, you know, they knew that they couldn't make that stick. So they were finished with that investigation of Holtzclaw and Sellers until they needed a way to make Daniel Holtzclaw into a serial rapist. Then all of a sudden she comes out of her case comes up again.
Yeah. What a surprise.
What a surprise.
Yeah. Just everything just worked out so well. Okay, so we're gonna kind of read over. So T1 says, wait, who makes accusations towards the police sexually assaulting her on the fly like that? If anything, in that situation, she would accuse the caller of sexually assaulting her or threaten to. And yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. I don't know. I just don't feel like it was completely the
Except
way.
I think she was just trying to garner sympathy from him.
Yes, there you go. That's it. That's it. Oh God, thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. I think she thought if she made that claim when she did, that Christopher Shelton was going to just feel so horrible for her that he was either going to, take her back or give her the attention. Yes, I think that was another reason that she might have didn't work. But I think that might have been a reason why she also had, made those claims just on the fly like that, like you said, T1, because I don't think it was anything that was thought about. Obviously, and there was no time for that. But so we're going to look at Johnathon Thomas was a what was that called? A rookie? Yeah, he was a rookie officer who my computer's acting up. I'm really sorry. Um, Yeah, that's right. That's what I think too. I think Kay agrees. And Cherie is not saying a word. We just can never shut this girl up. Anyway, so we're going to look at the police report. So Johnathon Thomas was a rookie cop who he was still working with his field training officer at the time. So he wasn't alone. He was with a superior that was training him. But this is, I'm going to put the report up here so we can look through it together really quickly, maybe. And see what this rookie cop had to say on his training. So this says that basically he says on my arrival I made contact with. Now before I go on, Kate or Cherie, do one of you want to discuss how let's see, how do I say this? How Christopher Shelton went from victim, because he was a victim of a domestic dispute, right? I mean, initially, but can you guys want to discuss how he goes from victim to just an interested party, and then Terri Morris is the victim in the report. So it's not the reports aren't. Go ahead, one of you two tell it. Or not.
You can go ahead, Kay.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that the reports, and we've talked about how they start the reports and they add to them, and until the superior signs off on them, they're open reports. And I just think this report probably it probably kind of grew into what they needed it to be over time. That's just my guess. I mean, because the person placing the 911 call and having his car destroyed is obviously the victim. Now, I didn't see anything where they asked Christopher Shelton if he wanted to press charges against her or anything like that. As soon as, I mean, all we see in police reports are them interviewing her about the rape. So there's not any mention of the vandalism of his car. So
Yeah, it just and you're right. It the reports we've seen just in or I've seen just in looking through all of this stuff with Daniel with his case that there's definitely I kind of see how I learned how some of their reports are done there, and I get it. There, and different departments are very different. I understand that as well, and adding to it and things like that. Yes, I understand that too. I just thought it was interesting how even in Johnathon Thomas's report from that, I'll just go ahead and read now exactly what his report from the 24th says. At approximately 3 o'clock in the morning, I responded to Northeast 23rd and Kelly Avenue in reference to a domestic call. Upon my arrival, I made contact with victim Morris and interested person Shelton. IP Shelton stated that VI called him upset and asked him to pick her up. That's we didn't. That is not what Christopher Shelton told us, right? In his police interview or in his television interview. Um, anyway, so victim was acting very hyper and was unable to stand still. She was crying and stated that she had been raped. Due to VI's behavior, I asked if she was on any drugs. She stated that she had smoked crack a few hours prior. I asked her who had raped her, and she stated that it was a police officer. Victim stated that it happened on either the 20th, May 20th, 2014, or May 21st, 2014, but she couldn't remember for sure. She stated that she was walking to the city rescue mission from a drug rehab facility that she goes to when an officer stopped her in the back seat of the patrol car about 2 blocks from the city rescue mission. She could not remember the exact location of where the officer picked her up. Now, it's important to remember that she said when Officer Thomas says that he put her in the back seat of his patrol car, that's going to come up in upcoming reports that we'll talk about. She stated that he ran her for warrants and then he had her get out of the car and face the car. She said the officer then told her to unzip her pants. She stated that she asked the officer why, and he stated that he could take her to jail but would let her go if she sucked his dick. I asked her if he ever touched her vagina or had vaginal sex, and she said no. She stated that he unzipped his pants and then pulled his erect penis out, and she put it in her mouth for a short time, and then asked him again why he was doing this. She stated he removed his penis from her mouth and put it back in his pants. She stated that he never ejaculated. She said that he then zipped his pants back and told her he would give her a ride to the city rescue mission. She stated that she got back in the car and he drove her around for a few minutes and then let her out in an alley in downtown Oklahoma City. She was unable to remember the exact location of where she was dropped off. That's going to be important. I asked her what the officer was wearing, and she stated that he was wearing this uniform that you're wearing. She just talks about the color of his shirt and his badge. Said she couldn't remember if he was wearing a gun belt or not. She stated that the suspect was a dark-skinned white male with black hair and appeared to be about 40 years old. She said he had a muscular build and was clean shaven. When asked if she could remember a police radio going off when she was in the car, she stated that she could not remember. She stated that he was in a black and white police car with a cage in the back seat. I asked her why she waited several days to report the incident, and she said it was because she was scared. And then Lieutenant Holland will, we might talk about Lieutenant Holland in a few minutes as well. So that is from Mr. Johnathon Thomas, the rookie. We're assuming he hasn't been dirty yet. And making this truthful as report as possible, of course. So we hear that, but then, well, what we kind of think is kind of odd. Rocky Gregory calls Johnathon Thomas, the rookie, in for an interview. Now, maybe others might say, "Oh, well, that's no big deal. That's fine. Why wouldn't he do that?" But Officer Thomas is a cop, and he's written a report. Why did Rocky Gregory need to call him in and do an interview? Well, we would argue, some of us would argue, that he needed to maybe help Johnathon Thomas remember things a little differently. So let's see if that indeed happened. I think it might have a little bit. So there we go. Kay or Cherie, do either one of you want to read, or would you like me to continue reading?
Go ahead.
You wanted to read, Cherie? Is that what you just were saying?
No, you're doing great.
Oh, no. You guys are sucky. Well, it's my own fault because I didn't really prepare very well for this podcast tonight. Cherie did a great job, and Kay was waiting. What do you want me to do? And I really
Don't tell all your secrets.
No, it's true. It's not. I have to own this one. That's not a secret. That's a legitimate. Rhonda dropped the ball this week, but it's fine. I'm going to go ahead and read this, and it'll be fine. So because I want you to try to pay attention now to this interview versus what I just read from what Johnathon Thomas reported to what now we're going to hear him say with Rocky Gregory in an interview that was conducted on June 2nd. So not too much farther. What was that? Just a few days later that this happened, that this interview took place. So Rocky Gregory's interview with Johnathon Thomas. I met with Officer Thomas at police headquarters to go over some of the detail of his contact with Terri Morris. Terri had not been located again as of the time of the interview. Now, I'll just say really quickly that from the time that Rocky Gregory got the report about her alleged assault, he had been trying to contact her, like ridiculous measures to try to reach her. And so as of June 2nd, they still had not located her. So that's what that is in reference to. Officer Thomas advised that on 5/24 at 3 o'clock in the morning, he was called to the Valero, Northeast 23rd and Kelly, for a domestic, which never got a report written about it. Officer Thomas stated that he was just a 1-month rookie officer with FTO Sergeant Dan Williams. After arriving, he met with Terri Morris. Terri appeared to be disheveled and on something like possibly drugs. Officer Thomas asked her what's going on. Terri stated, "I've been raped." And there's a question mark there. That's really odd. I just noticed that for the first time. I've been raped? I don't know what that means. She told him that about 5 or 6 days ago. She then said, now this also, you guys, as you're listening to this, tell me if this should fall under a hearsay situation as well. If it came to court like this. She then said that it was Tuesday or Wednesday. Terri went on to state that she had been raped by an officer. Terri advised that she had just left a drug rehab but didn't say a name. It was downtown OKC. She was trying to get to the city rescue mission. An unknown officer stopped her en route and ran her for warrants. When he was done, he told her to get out of the car. She got out of the back seat. And he told her to face the car and unzip her pants. She asked him why. He told her, "Do what I say or go to jail." Then he told her to suck his dick. She then sat down in the back seat of the patrol car, driver's side. He took his penis out of his pants. It was erect, and he placed his penis in her mouth for a short period of time. I really like to know the time periods that these guys talk about. A short period of time, not very long. It didn't take very. Anyway,
It's those 10-second blowjobs.
10-second blowjobs that men are totally satisfied with.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. The officer pulled his penis out of her mouth. He puts his penis up, closes the door on her. I'm so immature. He puts his penis up and closes the door on her. He tells her he would give her a ride to the city rescue mission. They drive around and he drops her off at an unknown alley in downtown OKC. I then asked several detailed questions as to everything Terri said. Officer Thomas was adamant that she said the location of where the stop was. This makes sense. Thomas was adamant that she said the location of where the stop was. Him was very consistent in telling her story. I'm sorry. I have the best time reading some of these reports from Rocky Gregory because he's such an idiot. I don't understand. And the assault was 2 blocks away from the city rescue mission. She was very consistent in telling her story. Officer Thomas advised me that he maybe believes her story. Terri advised that she was a prostitute. They ran her that night and she came back as clear. We covered the story again. She was walking 2 blocks from the mission from an unknown drug rehab center downtown OKC. She was sober then because she just got out of a rehab center. Unknown directions or cross street of the rehab center or location where she was stopped. Oh, you know what I don't have is this next page.
You don't.
You want to find that for me really quick? Sure, okay. I don't know why I don't have that. We covered the story again. So when he stopped her, Officer Thomas was unclear if he searched her or not. She sat in the back seat and he supposedly ran her for warrants. When he got done, some secret. He got done because I didn't get that one out. Sorry. But I didn't put it up, so anyway, we'll see if one of those ladies can grab it for me really quick. Told you guys I dropped the ball.
Really quick.
Huh?
I said really quick. No, I can't find anything really quick. You know me?
Cherie, you're the queen. Come on now, where is that?
I'm trying, but
I know you are. Well, while they're looking, I will just let you know that there is definitely some discrepancies that we may or may not get to hear tonight. If I don't get them out here for you guys to hear right now, I'll definitely put it in Discord so you can come back and read it after a while. Anyway, it's when we do find that, we'll learn that we'll figure it. We'll learn that she was definitely, or that he was definitely coerced or prodded or coaxed into saying things a little differently. What you got, Kay? Cherie?
I'm looking. I'm scrolling, man.
Oh, I wish I could tell you what page it was. Well, I have mine in Foxit, so all I have to do is type in the name or whatever, and it pulls it up. So while they are working so hard on that, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to now we can assume that they did. Why did she have to unzip her pants? It seems rather, let's put that up there in the meantime. Sue Smith wants to know, why did she have to unzip her pants? It seems rather unusual if he was only wanting oral anyway. I know, well, I get it. I don't know either. There's lots of this is why I shouldn't read the chat while I'm trying to do a show, because you guys are making me laugh. But exactly. That's just a tiny little inconsistency, Sue. Good catch. That just doesn't make any sense. Like maybe not inconsistency, but it's a little slip, like it just sounds better. I had to unzip my pants and then I had to give him a blowjob just for a few seconds, and then I had to zip my pants back up so I don't know, I don't get it either. So, and she never did claim that he vaginally assaulted her. So, and then there's T1, of course, always being T1. T1 says faster than an Oklahoma blow. Hey, a butterfly.
Let's see.
So anyway, I'm in the meantime, while they're looking so much for that, intent for that, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to listen to, we're going to start the phone interview that we get with, and I do have both parts of that for sure, I know. The phone interview that Rocky Gregory is going to have with Christopher Shelton. Now, I believe it was a phone interview. It might say in the report, I don't remember, I don't really care. But he did this interview over the phone, and I think it had something to do with Christopher Shelton refusing to come to the station or some such horse shit, I don't remember. So let's go ahead while they're looking for that and see what we can see that Christopher Shelton said in his interview with Detective Gregory. So, interview with Christopher Shelton, involved person on 5/27 at 11:05. I spoke with Chris by phone. I introduced myself and explained that I wanted to blah 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 blah. Chris stated he tells Rocky Gregory he doesn't know how to get a hold of Terri. And so Chris stated that he has known Terri since 2000. She has no mental health issues that he knows of. Chris then said she did take some pills during a suicidal time period, which to me indicates mental health issues, but that's just me. Other than that, he didn't know much about her mental condition, and that's fine. I understand that. He stated she does drink alcohol, however. Terri and Chris used to date for about a month, 2 months ago. She did live with Chris for a period of time. Chris is currently in a different relationship whom he wouldn't state the name, and they found out later. Chris stated on 5/24 around 3 o'clock in the morning, he was driving southbound on North Kelly from Northeast 36th Street. He saw Terri walking and he almost hit her. First time I've heard that. He pulled up by her and told her to get in and he would take her to her grandma's house. She was very drunk. Terri began to Terri began to talk drunk to him, and she began to mention she was raped by the police. At the same time, she was going on about how he was with another woman and how she tried to call him about the rape. Terri began to cuss at him. Chris told her to be quiet. He didn't want to hear it about anything. He took her to her grandma's nearby, but she wouldn't get out of the vehicle. Terri told him to just take her to the Valero at Northeast 23rd and Kelly. Once there, she still wouldn't get out of the pickup. Small little means nothing word, but I don't think it was a pickup. I'm pretty sure he said it was a car. Anyway, she was talking about going to rehab at the Jesus house. She was still talking about the rape and everything else. Terri wouldn't get out and began to rip his CD cover off the CD player. Terri began to hit him, so he just had the police called. So that is kind of a little tidbit there, at least for my recollection. He took her to let's see. Nope. Terri wouldn't get out and began to rip his CD cover off the CD player. Terri began to hit him, so he just had the police called. So he, according to this, did not even talk about calling the police until after she started hitting him. So that, again, back to the news interview, never happened. Um, the police came and Terri calmed down. Also, not what Officer Thomas said. She began to tell officers about the officer involved rape. This was what Terri tried to tell him, but he told her he didn't want to hear it. Chris did get to hear some of the report, and Terri seemed to be fine in telling the rape story. Terri told them she was scarred to tell them I asked Chris to go into detail of everything he remembered of what she said. And here I have part 2. Never fear. I just have to switch over. This is where I hear 2 monitors comes in really handy. And guess what? I have a second monitor. I just don't have the right cable to hook it up yet. So here we go with part 2 of the Chris Shelton interview. Told him everything about the rape. Chris seemed to have a hard time with detail in general. Terri said it happened last Tuesday or Wednesday. She was walking, but it wasn't known where. The officer stopped her. At one point, he gets out of the car and opens the back door to her. He puts his hand between her legs. Now, that's the first time I know of that we hear that. At one point, he pulls his penis out of his pants and tells her to suck his penis. Terri did as she was told and performed oral sex on the officer. He did not ejaculate. The officer then stopped, closed the door on her, and drove her around. Now, at no point do I hear him talking about her getting out of the car. Maybe that was an oversight. He just dropped her off. She couldn't say where she was dropped off at. This was all that Chris could recall of what she said. Chris only knew it was supposed to be an OCPD officer. It was understood. No detail of the officer known, no details of where it happened. Chris didn't recall much about what she told the officers. Each specific question I asked of Chris about the conversation or detail, he said he either didn't recall or he didn't know. No detail known before what she was trying to tell him either. Chris couldn't tell me anything about the officer who did this to her. Chris couldn't tell me much about the incident in general. So there's a reliable witness, right? Then Terri went her way. A few hours later, Chris was at his girlfriend's house. He wouldn't say where, but they got the address, whatever, it doesn't matter. Uh, 911 records with the calling party as Tina, I can't read this last name. Chris said his girlfriend got him up and said Terri was outside banging on the windows. The police came and spoke with her. He didn't know much about that incident either. I stayed in contact with Chris to see if he heard anything out of Terri. He didn't know where she was, but thought maybe the Jesus house. He knew nothing about her involvement with the city rescue mission. So that's the end of that amazing report from Rocky about Christopher Shelton, which I just felt like was such a, I don't know. He keeps saying he didn't know much about it and didn't know any of this and didn't know any of that. Well, then he shouldn't, I don't know, whatever. I just feel like it was kind of shady. Christopher Shelton didn't want to say much because I think he realized he was getting caught in some different little stories. So, all right, how are we doing on that second part of that that interview with Johnathon Thomas? No luck? Wah, wah, wah. Okay, well, that's all right. Like I said, I'll find it after a while and I'll put it up.
I just sent the second
can.
and third page if you need it. From the interview with JT and RG.
Okay. Did you send it to my email?
Yes.
See, that's Cherie's gaining a reputation. So who's interested in hearing some more of this interview with Johnathon Thomas and Rocky Gregory? Anyone?
No, we don't care.
You don't care? Okay.
We don't. Never mind. We don't care now.
Okay.
Thanks, anyway, Sherry.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for looking, but nobody cares. Well, you might care. Just gonna check this out and see what you. But I probably don't want to show my email address and everything. I guess I don't know why. It doesn't really matter to me. To stalk me through there. So this is just going to be kind of a cold little share here. You guys don't care, right? So we're going to get back with the JT. We affectionately call him JT, me and Cherie and Kay. We have names for everybody. I have names for everybody. So anyway, page 2 with the Johnathon Thomas interview. Open the bright back, he tells her to get out and unzip her pants. We've been over that. Oh, that's page 1. Okay, this is page 2. I asked him to cover what Terri described the suspect officer altogether. He advised the following: white male, no name stated, no name or noted on by the victim, in his 40s, muscular and big, dark skinned. Now, for some of you who don't really know much about the case or much about Daniel, he does not, he is a white male. He is not dark skinned. He's actually very light skinned. So darker skinned, around 6 foot, nothing asked in reference to weight, clean shaven, black hair, no scars, marks, or tattoos, no glasses, sideburns, don't know if it was asked, jewelry, don't know, eye color, can't remember what she said, which I think is really odd, but okay. And then underwear, nothing was recalled about his underwear. The penis and genitalia, shaved, was it shaved? Johnathon Thomas didn't ask. There were no scars, marks, or tattoos noticed on the penis. Nothing noticed on penis, nothing noted on penis size or otherwise. He was wearing a police uniform and the badge. The vehicle she described, according to Johnathon Thomas's interview with Rocky Gregory, was that the officer's car, Terri advised that the officer's car was like theirs, and they were driving the 2010 Crown Vic with the thin light bar, nothing noted for numbers or distinguishing marks on the car. Now, about that, Daniel did not drive the Crown Vic. He was driving the newer police cars, and his was a take-home car. So that's huge that she named it. It's one thing to get the color of skin wrong or the muscle build or body build or the hair or whatever, but to say that one car, to say it's this car when it was this car, those cars look very, very different. So there was no way to mistake that, in my opinion. It was not asked what Terri was wearing that night. It was also noted of the secondary contact with Terri thereafter, but him and Officer Williams did not go until after the fact. Terri had caused the disturbance back at Sheldon's the way it was understood. No new information was given. Officer Thomas advised he had no idea of how to reach Terri. She just advised she was a transient and no real numbers or addresses were given. So I feel like, let me try to look at something here. Okay, I guess those were, oh, wait, maybe this is it. Nope. Okay, that was it. So that's the extent of the interview with Rocky and Johnathon Thomas. I really thought there was more to that than that, but that's okay. Still, it could be said that he was trying to that he was, that he was changing. It seems to me, let me say it this way, I got the feeling when I was reading that interview the very first time, Rocky was trying to get him to say certain things, but I felt like Johnathon Thomas, being a new kid, was trying to say the right things or say, what he thought were the right things. Again, my opinion. I don't know if that's true or not. So
I think he was just trying to get him to fudge on the dates that she said had happened, because that wasn't going to work out for him.
There's a lot of fudging on that.
Well,
wasn't
I
there?
don't know. Wait a minute. Well, I'm saying that right now, but that can't be right, because he couldn't have had that motivation to pin it on Daniel at that point, right? Because that's 6-3. That's before the Janie Liggins traffic stop. So
right. Yep.
So what is his motivation for interviewing Johnathon Thomas and trying to get him to change things? Why would he Why would he care?
You said it earlier when you were talking about, we were kind of talking about that a little bit ago when, oh crap, what was it? That he had already looked at, Daniel Holtzclaw and Jeff Sellers at that time. That neither one of them were in that location or in that area. And I think at that point that they were trying to zero in on one or the other of these cops having committed that crime. And because nobody appeared to have stopped her at that time, I feel like Rocky Gregory said, okay, well, let's go back and look at the last time she was stopped, which was May 8th or April 11th from Sellers. And then I think that's when it wasn't that it was, again, nobody was trying to set Holtzclaw up from that date at least, not till the 18th and beyond. But those were two names that they had now that they could look at. At least that's what I think. There's two. There could be either one of those two could have been the one who ended up in prison for 263 years. And
okay, so he's still in the process of just trying to figure out that it isn't Daniel and it isn't John Sellers, which he finally puts that to rest.
Right.
And then pretends like he just wasn't finished interviewing her even after she had signed declined a what's it called? She signs the
refusal to prosecute.
Refusal to prosecute thing.
Yeah, but he's still, Linda's saying that she can't understand me hardly.
Well, that was back then. You sound like you fell in a barrel, like something was laying over the top of your speaker or something, your microphone maybe.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'll sit on my hands, as has been suggested before. I know in the beginning, Kay used to tell me, are you sitting on your hands? Sit on your hands. Sue is wanting to know if the defense ever questioned any of this. And I think we kind of just talked about that. Not yet, because this is all on June, between May 24th and June 3rd at this point. But
like the defense attorney at trial, she means.
Yeah, I think
question any of this at trial
about the discrepancies and things like that. I think then with Christopher Shelton and some of the things in the report didn't sound quite the same. But I don't think they did at that point because, like we were just saying, they weren't really looking at Daniel yet.
Well, Cherie just read over all of that. Do you recall, Cherie, if at trial the defense attorney brought up this line of questioning about how the reports didn't match? For me, I just think it was just too overwhelming with all the 13 accusers, the 13 cases for two attorneys to, try to get it together. I mean, I don't know how they were able to absorb this case and try to figure out what the facts of the case were with 13 cases, basically.
I think he questioned Terri a little bit, and he did, and Rocky a little bit as well, but not really too deeply, Not
very aggressively.
He did point it out somewhat. All the differences.
I'm going to show you. We're not going to. Cherie has made some quick. Well, not quick. I know she worked harder than just quick, but Cherie did some. I don't know what this is. I have like serious brain fog, and it is really killing me today. So sorry. Here we go.
Chart? Is it a chart?
Well, shut up, guys. Now that's just mean. You're just being mean now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wish I could type in the chat
Why
so I
can't you
could.
do it?
I mean, because every time I open YouTube and try to do that in this, I get feedback.
Well, turn off your speaker on your YouTube.
I'm just gonna be present right here in the show.
Okay, I love it. So, I'm not sure what I'm showing right now because I've gotten a bit sidetracked. Surprise. Okay,
You were showing
what
a
I was
chart
going
or
to
something.
show. She's not going to let it go. That's okay. I earned it. I deserve it. So, this is what. So these are just some basic things. Now we're going to not go into a ton yet because these are really going to come into play come parts 2 and 3. But basically, Terri Morris kept her same basic story 6 different times prior to July 10th. She didn't really change much. There were some minor detail changes. Was she in the car? Was she out of the car? Were her breasts exposed or not exposed? Did he touch or did he not touch her vagina or between her legs? There was some talk about that I hadn't heard anywhere else other than what Johnathon Thomas had in his report.
But they were trying to rack up charges against Holtzclaw because, and they did, as the women changed their stories. I mean, you can almost just see the delight in the detectives' eyes when they say something that allows the detectives to add another charge. And then they always say, oh, now, did he touch your vagina inside your pants or outside your pants?
Yeah.
And they're just like, if I weren't recording this, I'd get up and jump up and down right now.
I know it is.
It's insane to watch their reaction to the detectives' body language.
They're like little kids or like adults in a porn store or something. It's like, especially with Kim Davis, man, she just can't get enough of like just raunchy talk, and she's just bleh. Oh god. Yeah, but Terri Morris's main points in her story stay the same. She claims it happened before the 911 call, obviously, and it was either on June 20th or 21st, and she really always stuck to that until Rocky beat her over the head. Christopher Shelton was the first person that was told, and it did occur, according to her, in downtown OKC. That she always kept that, and she was walking, according to her, from a rehab to the rescue mission, and the cop that assaulted her was driving a 2010 Crown Vic. He evidently exposed his penis with little to no effort. I would like to ask some of the men in the chat, is it difficult at times to expose your penis? I don't know. He was not wearing a you don't have to answer that too long.
Most
use your imagination.
Most of the accusers say he exposed his erect penis. I mean, which would even be more difficult.
Not only did he expose it, but they turned their head and it was just there, like it just magically appeared.
But I mean, to remind everyone what the gear that would have had to maneuver through. I mean, wore the compression underwear
with no fly.
And then his shirt was fastened with shirt stays from the bottom of his shirt to the top of his socks, so his shirt was pulled taut. And then he had the bulletproof vest that had this little area that hangs kind of low.
Right.
I don't know.
It kind of covers. I think the intention is to cover the groin a little bit or to protect the groin.
Well, when we did the pants, when my husband and I did the little experiment with the pants, he wasn't able to just whip it out. I mean, it doesn't look like that. And he didn't even have
I don't remember
compression underwear on. So anyway.
And he still was struggling. Yeah, just crazy.
I mean, that's just not easy to do.
And it's so frustrating because they just seem to gloss over all those little things. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's non-consequential. That doesn't matter. You know, he did it, and it doesn't matter how he did it. He just did it, and we are all supposed to accept that.
Right, but also he would have to be careful not to tear his penis up with the zipper too. I mean, you've got a zipper to contend with it. It's not going to be kind to your skin there.
Right. Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Okay,
I'm finished talking about that.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, but those are all great points. Now, Cherie, let's see, Brian. Oh, let's see. Whoa. Let's see. Let's see what Catnet's saying here in the chat. Yeah, Brian Bates. Okay, yeah. Will you read that for me, Kay?
Brian Bates, and somewhere in there, he managed to fit in pulling out his erect penis over his compression shorts with no fly, under his t-shirt and bulletproof vest, and around his uniform shirt that was held in place by shirt stays, and get oral sex while coaxing her to just hurry up. Yeah, that is beautifully stated by Brian Bates.
Right, good. Thanks for sharing that, Kat. We appreciate that. Zipper Jack says zipper and ding dongs equals bad.
I know, it's true. I mean, it's true. It seemed to. I think if he would have been whipping his erect penis out through the fly of his unzipped pants as many times as he's been accused of doing, he would be missing a little bit of skin.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I've been told.
But he wasn't missing any skin.
He didn't. Yeah, he says he wasn't he wasn't injured or anything. So, and then P1 says there are so many variables: weather conditions, wind speed, alignment of the plants. It's just complicated for some of us. It says. So yeah, I can see that too. You know, we didn't even talk about those little tidbits. So, oh no, I don't know what I just might have done. Okay, so, oh my God, I was afraid I did that. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have no idea what just happened to my screen. It's gone. It's black. I can't see anything. I think I have a virus. Damn it! I don't know what to do. It's like a black screen.
End your show.
I guess, yeah. Oh, what is happening in my life?
Do you have any hotkeys for that?
No. Jack, I know you're still in the chat. What do I do? My screen is black. It's a black screen of death. Oh my God. Well, short of just letting my battery die or just turning my laptop off altogether, which I guess I could do. Can you see what anybody in the chat might be suggesting?
No one is suggesting anything. No one's helping you.
No one helped. They're all just thinking, oh, thank God, because you guys are about to miss out on a really good video I was just getting ready to show. Damn it. I don't know what's going on.
Can you log in on your phone and control it?
No, I can't even hardly control my phone. Hold on. This is insane. I'm pretty sure I opened a corrupt file yesterday, a couple of them, and I'm not going to say where.
Well, I wish you would say where. Was it a Daniel Holtzclaw thing?
It was from you.
Well, I mean, seriously, what is it? You need to tell me.
It was sure. Oh, I can't remember.
Tell me later.
Yeah, I'll tell you later. I'm a little stressed. I don't even know where my freaking phone is right now. So,
What else
well,
do we have anyway? Left.
I just have that really cool, amazing video I made.
Oh no!
But it's the interview. That's what I wanted to close with, is this interview.
Well, that stinks.
I don't know what's happening. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I don't know what else to do. I'm gonna just turn my computer off, and if you guys will just give me 3 minutes, I'll come back and see if I can manage to get it all back. I don't know what else to do. So,
all right, maybe we'll be here.
Yeah, hopefully you guys can stay there and answer questions or entertain the troops in chat or whatever. But either way, give me about 3 minutes, guys. Oh my God, what just happened? It just came back. What is happening in my life?
Well, hurry up and play the video.
Came back. So here we're gonna share this video really quick and hope that it doesn't get jacked up, because I think you might appreciate this. Oh, okay. Well, everybody's still with us, so that's good. Okay, this is Terri Morris's first interview with Rocky Gregory, and it occurred on June 3rd, 2014.
Please.
Okay, Terri, I'm sorry I took some time. Thank you so much for coming down. Is it all right that I have my uniform on?
Yeah, I was scared.
You want me to take off my gun belt, anything like that? I don't even know who the guy is. I understand your concern, okay? And I put cops in jail. I put handcuffs on cops. And I've sent them to prison before, okay?
I just want to be there because I'm leaving at the end of my aunties. We're going back to California with my aunties.
California?
At the end of my year.
Well, what I'd like to do, okay, now you have every option in the world, okay? But you know I got to encourage you to go through and talk to me, okay? I can't have this guy running around Oklahoma City.
But somebody else can do it. I don't want to. I just want to leave it. I want to try to get these. I just want to get this out of my life.
And I'm not trying to harass you, okay?
I take a lot of medicine. I just want I can't do it. I'm not strong enough. I can't.
Is it even possible that I could show you some pictures?
No, I want to. Please, please. I just want to leave alone. I just want to go. I just want to go back my life. Please. Please, no. I don't want to see him or nothing. Oh my God, no. Okay, but I don't want to. Please, no. I don't want to be a part of nothing. No.
Is there anything that I can do? Okay. Is there anything that I can do to persuade you to help make you stronger?
No. Please.
Be very close to your children.
I just want to sign the paper, please, please, please.
Give me 2 more minutes, and I'll fill it up as I talk. Okay.
Not long before that, I just got to mental hospital before that happened to me. I just can't.
Where have you been staying?
I was at the shelter.
What shelter?
City Rescue. And then before that, before I went to the shelter, I was at Woodward Mental Health. Yeah.
Where's that at?
In Woodward, Oklahoma.
Oh, Woodward?
I was after I came from Woodward.
Okay, so you went.
Woodward is a mental health.
Okay. And then you went.
I was at the City Rescue Mission. I was in the BTL.
Did you?
Faith-based.
Where's that at?
Downtown. Right there.
What's the name of it?
City Rescue Mission.
But you said that there was a
BTL.
BTL?
I'm just not going to answer no more questions. No disrespect. I just
Give me an address I can put down. Are you on any kind of medications? What kind of meds?
Inipramine. And I take 3. That's my mental health medicine. And I take 3 different types of it. Having that pressure.
It's your mental health. Where you been diagnosed?
Paranoid schizophrenic with depressive features.
Schizophrenic.
Post-traumatic. Yes.
With what kind of features?
Depressive. Post-traumatic. Post-traumatic.
Discussing like PTSD. I gotta find a date. I gotta put a date down.
For what?
For whatever had happened.
Well, I don't know. It happened sometime last month. That's all I remember.
Last month in May?
Yeah. Yeah, it was last month about, I don't know, the first, second, third week, something like that.
Do you know, this says location offense.
It was in downtown, I don't know, downtown, somewhere down when it happened.
I'm just looking for a location. So
no, downtown here somewhere. I don't know because I don't know my way around downtown. This was my first time at the city shelter. City Rescue Mission. Don't know my way around. Behind some like between buildings. Some buildings he pulled into.
Between buildings?
Some street with a building, you know.
What could you see something?
A red brick building. Another bit that red. See? Yeah, see.
Where
I
was?
don't want to rehash this.
Okay, but I'm just trying to figure out what location so I can write it down.
I don't know because I'm not from downtown. I'm from the northeast area, so I don't know. It didn't seem that far away from the City Rescue Mission.
Like, could you see the Devon Tower?
I don't.
Was there a Valero, a McDonald's?
I don't remember.
Jesus
I just
House?
don't. I was so scared.
Do you remember the street? How about a street? Can I put down a street?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I said, where was he taking? I don't know.
And then he drove you around. I'm just trying to figure out a location.
I don't know. I'm not from that town, so I don't know.
Is there? But you saw something.
No, I don't know. I saw. Yeah, him driving me between the 2 buildings. That street. Yeah, it looked like I don't know what was in the other end. It seemed like a alley. I don't know.
Was you drunk or anything?
No. Please, can we just...
You said it was close to the City Rescue?
It seemed like a couple of blocks or so. I don't really know because I don't know. I just was trying. I didn't even know my way around. Somebody walked me to the bus stop that wanted to show me how to get there.
How about the jail? You know where the jail is?
mean, I've been to jail, but no, because I'm not, all I know is the address. You know, I've been to jail lots of times, but I just, you know.
Well, I'm trying to help you fill this out, okay?
But I don't know. They asked me something I don't know.
You know where I
If I was on east side.
You know that big, pretty, like, skywalk bridge, you know, with the lights up?
I don't really travel out the northeast, that area you see me in. I don't really travel out that area. That was my
first. Jesus house, right?
No, but I've been to see rescue mission. That was my first time.
How about, I got an idea. If you walked out the front doors on California, which way would I be put?
Okay, well listen, this is so difficult. I don't know because I was coming back. I don't know. I was coming back from the east end, taking care of my business. I don't know because, yeah, I don't know. I don't know my directions. Like, I just don't know.
Well, your reason, I gotta have you sign this, okay? Okay, you gotta put it like an actual reason that you do know I want you to do this, right? Is there anything I can say to persuade you to change your mind? What if you needed more time? Are you on any kind of illegal drugs? I'm not gonna arrest you.
No, well, I've been drinking a beer.
And you sure you wouldn't look at a few pictures?
Please don't fight me. Please don't. Just, I'll sign here.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Give me a little bit of time, okay? And I'm gonna, I promise you right back. You know, I wish you would talk.
Oh, gosh.
Terri, anything you'd like to tell me? Anything that I should know? I can't tell you. I want to beg you to give me information. You know I'm on your side. I am one of the good guys, okay? Is it the mental issues? Is that affecting you?
Yeah, kind of. I just want to leave it alone. I just want to go start over.
I still got to watch other over women.
Don't put that on me, please don't. Yeah, that's not right to do me like that.
I'm not trying to be mean.
That's not right to do that to me.
Okay, you can call me. And even if you lose this, know that the sex crimes of Oklahoma City. I don't care if you got to call 911.
Okay.
They'll get them switched over. Is there anything I can do to persuade you to talk to me?
No, I'm not.
I mean, anything.
I need time with you.
Okay.
You're cracking me up. Our production company.
Production. Yes, it's a production company. Oh, God. Oh, thanks, Linda, for coming. I appreciate you sticking around. Oh, yeah. So anyway, I have to ask you guys, I know we've gone over, we're hitting an hour and a half now, but I did not notice this until I was doing this video. I had not realized what she says in the part of the video, but early on, he's asking her, oh crap, and I'm just gonna drive myself crazy if I can't figure it out. But he's asking her what, turn off the sound. What, he's asking her questions or details, and she's letting him know that she doesn't want, she just doesn't want anything else to do with this. And so, she's just Oh, there it was. There it was. There it was. Ah, hold on. Pause right there. Now, she says this, and I didn't hear this before, and I didn't notice it before, but in part of this interview, when he's asking her a question, she says very clearly, I listened to it multiple times, I'm not trying to get these ME. I just want to get this out of my, I just got this like this feeling in the pit of my gut when I saw that and heard that, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. She was getting ready to say, I'm not trying to get these men in trouble or whatever, but I really think she was going to say these men. And then she caught herself and switched it up and said that she just wants to get this out of her head or out of her life or whatever. Now, I could be wrong. That is exactly what gets said. That's what she said. You guys can go and find this video in any of those places. YouTube, Bates Investigates on YouTube, Holtzclaw Trial on YouTube, or in his podcast. But I am 99.9% certain that's what she was saying, and I think she was caught herself getting ready to say, "I'm not trying to get these men in trouble," or something to that effect. Anyway, so hopefully, that's a little bit more information on that very beginning with Terri Morris, and as you leave, uh, so as you wait for this next part to come up, just try to remember as best you can. Maybe rewatch this. Or if you have any questions and you want to read any of these things that I can get my hands on, let me know, and I'll one of us will get the document to you or whatever. Because things are going to really start getting different in the next one that we're going to do next week. Now, having said that, I'm going to thank you, Kat. You're amazing. For getting those links up for us. That's great. Thank you. But I'm going to be going to Arizona I think I leave on the 6th of January, and I think I return on the 11th. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. I don't even know what day of the week that is. But probably for that week, we're going to try to pre-record part 3 and show it as a premiere. Just because if I'm still in Arizona or I'm flying home or I'm just getting home or whatever the case may be, I don't want to have to be trying to do a whole show. So we'll probably just end up doing a premiere for that third part. Unless there are any other questions or any comments or anything, Kay or Cherie, if you have anything else to add or just want me to be done so we can get the hell out of here.
No,
Okay.
I mean, I just remind everyone of the timeline. I mean, we don't have the Janie Liggins traffic stop yet, so
Nope.
So
that's right.
He really is just trying to see if he can get more information to see if it could be Daniel Holtzclaw or John Sellers. Which, hey, Sellers is the guy that got in trouble for having sex with prostitutes in his car.
Okay, it was Sellers. Okay.
It was Sellers. So, but the ABL, the GPS didn't work out for it to be him either, as far as matching up with the story that Terri's adamant about.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Yeah. And hopefully I will be able to show go get some maps up for you guys. Probably won't be until that third part, but we'll see. I can give you guys an idea of the actual location and where everything was. So, if nobody else has any other questions, we're going to go ahead and sign off for tonight, and we will see you back here next week for part 2 of the Terri Morris accusations. And we'll see everybody next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.